good morning. I want to talk to you this morning about bewaring of familiarity. And so what in the world do I mean by that? Sometimes when we are too familiar with someone or something, we can take them for granted. We can make assumptions about them, and we can even misunderstand that person or that thing. That person or that thing just kind of becomes in the background to our life, and we can make assumptions about it. We can mistreat it even, and in the worst cases, we can even treat it with contempt. And so we need to beware of familiarity. This happened in Jesus' life. In Mark chapter 6, verses 1 through 6, Jesus travels to his hometown, Nazareth, and he has every indication, it seems, of doing miracles or performing miracles, but the people hold him in contempt. They're familiar with Jesus. They know his story. They know his background. They know his family, and so they're kind of incredulous about Jesus and the things that he's doing. Isn't this Joseph's son? Don't we know his brothers? Don't we know his mother? And so they're skeptical of Jesus. And then in perhaps one of the most disappointing verses in the Bible, it says in Mark 6, verse 5, he was not able to do a miracle there, except that he laid his hands on a few sick people and healed them. And then in verse 6, and he was amazed at their unbelief. And so beware of being too familiar with Jesus. Beware of having this attitude of, well, I know Jesus. I know the stories. I know the things that he did. I'm familiar with that. I don't need to know any more about him than I already know. That's a dangerous place to be in our faith. That leads to misunderstanding Jesus and what he's trying to do in our life. And so the cure to not becoming too familiar with Jesus is our relationship with him and spending time with him, spending time in his word, spending every day getting to know him. He's big enough, so big, that we can't fully know everything there is to know about him. And that's, to me, not a discouragement. That's an encouragement that we can pursue Jesus our entire lives and barely scratch the surface. We won't get too familiar with Jesus. He'll always have grace to show us, always have love to show us. And so spend your life getting to know Jesus. Don't let yourself get into a place where you feel like you're familiar with him. You know all the ins and outs of him. Pursue him. Get to know him. He's anything but familiar. Have a blessed day.